Hey everyone, so for us in the Christian tradition, today some call this Wednesday Spy Wednesday because of Judas's betrayal of Jesus. And this time of the year, this week, when we commemorate the Passover is supposed to be a time of celebration. It's the time of the Jewish people being called out of slavery into freedom and into the promised land, the land filled with milk and honey. And we remember the journey that they made. So too, Jesus is going on his journey, and he's going to become the sacrificial lamb. Like they put the lamb's blood over the door to save the people from the plagues. It's Jesus's blood that is now going to become the saving blood. But to enter into the drama of the moment, I would invite you to think about your best friend betraying you. Your best friend is sitting with you at a dinner table, and you're honoring that person. You're dipping the bread into the dish and you're giving it to that person. And the spiritual darkness that's overcoming your friend, and your friend choosing not to stay in the warmth of your home with you, and choosing instead to go out into the spiritual darkness, to go out into this darkness that is going to lead your friend to betray you and to hand you over to the authorities. And some of the scriptures do tell us that maybe Judas was thinking that Jesus would take power, take control, like he did in so many situations where he reprimanded those who were challenging him, and he came out on top. He walked away with his life. Maybe that's what Judas was thinking. But there's this very intimate relationship between Jesus and his friends, his disciples, and between us. And that's the moment that is captured today, where we see Jesus still trusting, still believing, still hoping, but that decision has already been made. So too with us, there are people who call us delusional, there are people who don't honor our vocations, there are people who do not see the strength of our faith, of our resoluteness, of the goodness of our lives and our decisions. And some of it is perpetual injustice. It's what Canada is doing by refusing to take a stand with other countries that are taking a stand against slavery, against maid, against conditions that create unsafe workplaces. It's in our day-to-day lives. It's in our day-to-day actions. So today we're entering into what the church calls Spy Wednesday. And it's not like Spy Wednesday like, oh, you're going to watch an action movie. It's a deep betrayal of a best friend. That's what it is. And to enter into that sadness, to enter into that deep darkness that overcomes Judas in the end, and he takes his life. And Jesus offering up his life. So when you read the scriptures, you can read them as silence being strength, because in some of the scriptures you have Jesus not answering at all, and that's also a sign of strength. But if you read the other scriptures, you see Jesus answering back, fighting for his life. So both are signs of strength, depending on how you read them. And not crying out, that image of a lamb to the slaughter. The lamb is trusting. The lamb is not expecting the worst to come out. But it's this drama that we're entering into, the Passover, and we're entering into this moment in Jesus's life where We know that Easter is coming. We know that the resurrection is coming. For us, we know. But for the disciples who were living at that time, they knew, but they didn't know for sure. And that's the deep faith that we enter into during this moment. And you can maybe take the scriptures and just picture yourself in that room. Who are you in that room? Are you Jesus? Are you Judas, struggling with what is Jesus doing when he knows his own authority and he knows that this whole world is his, and yet he's letting this woman come and cry at his feet and pour this nard on him, and he's just carrying on like this? Like, are you a disciple that's just observing what's happening and the scene that is unfolding for this Passover? And for me, I know that it's that moment of, these are best friends. They're best friends. And it's that heartbreak of, why? They're best friends. That's the moment I'm entering into. That it's a best friend. It's not some stranger. It's not somebody that doesn't know Jesus. It's not somebody that hasn't been with Jesus and been with us on this journey. It's that intimate relationship. It's that intimacy between best friends that we're watching unfold in this Passover meal. Best friends, people who have been with us from the beginning. And yet we are still challenged to love anyway, to pray anyway, and to keep our calling anyway. That's for us as the Christian. That's for me. To hope anyway, to love anyway, and to trust anyway.